Imagine being able to time travel. Now consider this. If you were to go back in time and inadvertently cause the death of your own grandfather before your own existence, what happens? Would you cease to exist? This peculiar idea, my friends, is the essence of the grandfather paradox, a concept that has both fascinated and befuddled philosophers and scientists alike. The paradox raises questions about the very fabric of time and our existence. This is the conundrum known as the grandfather paradox. The grandfather paradox, in essence, poses a question of cause and effect. Now let's take a moment to unravel this mind-twisting conundrum. Imagine you have the ability to travel back in time, and for some inexplicable reason, you decide to meddle with the course of history. You take a step further and interact with your own grandfather before he met your grandmother. The paradox arises here at the intersection of the past and the present. What if you cause an event that prevents your grandparents from meeting each other, or worse, leads to your grandfather's untimely demise? You just altered a key event in the past that directly influences your own existence. Here's where the paradox kicks in. If your grandparents never met or your grandfather perished before he could contribute to your existence, then how are you born in the first place? If you were never born, then how could you have traveled back in time to interfere with your grandfather's life? This is the contradiction that lies at the heart of the grandfather paradox. It's a loop that seems to have no beginning or end, a cycle that perpetually feeds into itself. This paradox is a fascinating exploration of the principles of causality, the relationship between cause and effect. It questions the very fabric of our understanding of time and existence. If the future can influence the past, then our traditional understanding of cause and effect is turned on its head. Could it be that time is not as linear as we perceive it to be? Could our actions in the present or even the future ripple backwards to shape our past? These are some of the intriguing questions that the grandfather paradox provokes. However, it's essential to remember that these are purely hypothetical scenarios. We currently have no scientific evidence to support the possibility of time travel or its potential consequences. But isn't it engaging to think about, to ponder over the mysteries of our universe and the intricacies of time? It's a classic case of what comes first, the chicken or the egg. We may never know for sure, but the exploration of such paradoxes can certainly make for an intellectually stimulating journey. Now, if you did manage to prevent your grandfather's death, you would continue to exist. This statement alone opens a Pandora's box of perplexing possibilities and mind-bending implications. Let's dive into this labyrinth of time and causality, shall we? Imagine this. You've successfully thwarted your grandfather's premature demise, and as a result, you continue to exist. But what does this mean for the sequence of events that led to your time-traveling endeavor in the first place? Remember, you initially embarked on this journey to prevent a tragedy that, in this new timeline, never occurs. So, would you still have a reason to travel back in time? This is where we stumble upon the concept of a time loop or causal loop. A time loop suggests an infinite cycle of events with no discernible beginning or end. In our scenario, you exist because your grandfather survived. But your grandfather survived because you, his future grandchild, intervened. And you were able to intervene because, well, you exist. It's a circular chain of cause and effect, each event leading to and resulting from the other, creating an endless loop. But wait, let's add another layer to this conundrum. If you were never born in the original timeline because of your grandfather's early death, how could you possibly go back in time to prevent it? You see, it's not just about time travel. It's about the delicate intricacies of cause and effect, the fabric of reality, and the paradoxical nature of existence itself. This time travel dilemma is like a Mobius strip, a loop with a twist, where the beginning is also the end, and the end, the beginning. It's a riddle that challenges our understanding of linear time, causality, and the very nature of our existence. It's a tantalizing puzzle that has perplexed philosophers, scientists, and curious minds alike for centuries. So it seems like we're caught in an endless loop of cause and effect. But remember, this is just one facet of the grand, complex diamond that is the grandfather paradox. There's more to explore, more to question, and more to understand. So let's delve deeper, shall we? So how can we make sense of this paradox? Are there any theories that can provide us with a possible solution? Let's dive into a couple of interesting theories that attempt to untangle this mind-bending riddle. First up, we have the multiverse theory. This theory suggests that there isn't just one universe, but an infinite number of universes, or multiverses, each with its own unique timeline. If we apply this to our paradox, it means that when you travel back in time and act, you're not changing your original timeline, but creating a new one. So, if you went back and prevented your grandfather from meeting your grandmother, you'd create a new universe where you don't exist. But fear not, you'd continue to exist in your original universe. A bit of a head-scratcher, isn't it? Well, let's move on to the next theory. This one is known as the self-consistency principle. This idea argues that any action a time traveler takes in the past must have been part of history all along. In other words, the events of the past cannot be changed. So if you were to try and prevent your grandfather from meeting your grandmother, something would inevitably stop you. Perhaps your actions would inadvertently be the reason they met in the first place. It's as if time has a self-regulating mechanism that prevents these paradoxes from ever occurring. Of course, these are just theories, and as with all theories, they come with their own set of questions and controversies. The multiverse theory, for instance, raises questions about the nature of reality itself, and the self-consistency principle seems to suggest a predetermined universe, which clashes with our ideas of free will. While these theories offer fascinating possibilities, the grandfather paradox remains an unsolved mystery in the realm of time travel. But isn't that the beauty of philosophy? It's all about asking questions and exploring possibilities, even if we never arrive at definitive answers. The grandfather paradox, thus, presents us with a thought-provoking question about the nature of time and existence. In essence, this paradox forces us to consider the implications of our actions in time. It highlights the intricate web of cause and effect, underscoring the complexity of our existence. The paradox serves as a beacon, illuminating the fascinating discourse on time travel. Whether time travel will ever become a reality or not, the grandfather paradox will continue to captivate our minds, challenging our understanding of time, causality, and existence itself.